Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about FishGibble, the AI, especially. This is the first part of a set of breakdowns of how I did some stuff. First of all, these are test levels. They're not production, but yeah, it's just the assets and everything in here. Some of them are production, but the fish itself is just a block. So the yellow flashing light here is a fish chasing me, and I'm gonna just take out. Fish can shoot. I don't know why. Seemed like a good idea. So they're basically doing a thing where they're hunting me. They're looking for me, and they're guarding a little area around them. And that's kind of what they do. They're quite vicious, and I do have a lot of stuff in here to try and put them off my tail, but they still get me. So let's go through some of it quickly. Just want to hide some of this stuff. Don't have to see everything the whole time. The AI is spawned through spawners. Now a spawner is just a blueprint. That has a whole set of properties that we'll go through. Spawners was created in C++, so it's got a C++ base class. It's got a set of properties, a whole bunch of stuff, but the most important things are it can spawn any actor of any class, and its job is to spawn actors in a cycle. So it will go through a cycle of time in the tick event, and when that time is reached, it will go and see if it needs to spawn something, and it will also clean itself up any actors that are no longer active or pending kill for any reason. They'll get removed. So it will maintain an array or a T array of a specific amount. So it's got an amount of actors that it will keep in the level. So the blueprint implementation thereof for this one is spawn, and we're just going to focus on the AI. So this one spawns AI, and the AI that the actor that it spawns is called third-person character. Now, if you look at the third-person character, and you just take a second look at the property settings in the game mode under maps and modes. The game uses the FishGibble UE4 game mode, which I created. It's C++ class. And you'll see the main character, you, are also a third-person character. So you're spawning from the same guy. Now he's got a lot of stuff going on here, but we're just going to focus on a few things. You'll see there's a lot of functions here as well. We're just going to focus on the AI for now. So basically what this tells you is that you can control characters in the game. That's the idea. Because you have skills, you're a special fish. I don't know why. Who knows? Maybe you tripped over some irradiated something. I don't know. Not important. So, how does it work? How does the AI work? How does the spawner work? When the spawner spawns an actor, this actor, it'll place it in the level. And the rules are governed here in the pawn section. So, the auto-possess player is disabled. And auto-possess AI is set to placed in world or spawn. So when this thing is placed in the world, it will be possessed by an AI controller. And the AI controller class is irrelevant because I'm not using behavior trees and all that stuff. I'm using custom behavior, which we'll go through. Just a quick note regarding this character. It's not an art asset. I mean, this is literally looks like a rock. It has no animation whatsoever. It's really just a placeholder. There's nothing special going on here, and it's for good reason, because the art assets, the characters aren't ready yet. They're still in production. Okay, so let's go on. When the character is placed in the world, the constructor is going to kick off and set up a whole bunch of stuff for the character and for the AI. So there's character defaults and AI defaults, pretty standard. And then we start going into the important stuff, which is the begin play. Here we decide if we're the main character or not. Very important. And then from there on, the tick event kicks in. Now the tick event we're going to be focusing on the AI part. So it starts here from AI checks. All the most functions take in the delta seconds, which is just a split time since the last frame was rendered or ran. This guy is responsible for swapping between AI and player, because in game you can actually possess another character if you have the skill unlocked. It's one of the skills. There are many. There's the whole skill tree. We'll go through that some other time, but for now let's just focus on the AI. The most important part of this function is obviously swapping between the player and AI and determining whether or not it hit something. It does this by creating a switch sphere forward for 20 units wherever the character is facing. The sphere is 70 units. So what the sweep single by channel does is it literally creates a sweep sphere and returns any blocking hits. That's its job. What does that mean? So it's using physics to tell you whether or not you've hit something or are going to hit something. So did this swept sphere hit something? It's basically it's a capsule, an elongated sphere for 20 units, 70. I think what is this, the radius? So it's the radius, so it's 140 units. Well, how did I get to 70? Why did I choose that? If you look at the character, the capsule component surrounding it is set up to 45 and 45. So that should give you 90. So that's why I chose a pretty big number. That's the main part of the AI checks. It's to determine whether or not you're going to hit something. When we're back from the AI check, we're back to the tick function. And then it's going to call this AI behavior. Now this is really just a state machine, nothing's fancy, nothing special. And everything here works in ticks, so even though every tick is called every frame, it's not going to do all this work every frame. It does it in a set amount of time. Some of it's random, some of it's not. So AI have various states. The states are guarding, hunting, and hovering, I think. Guarding, hunting, and hovering, right? Hovering is a special kind of state which is not too important for us right now. So guarding, what does he do when he guards? He's simply going to swim around in a random point in a sphere for the guard radius, and he's going to swim there. That's what guarding does. Not that crazy. So every now and then he can do something random. So the random AI behavior will make him choose another point. So he'll randomly go to another point within the sphere. They have, like I said, they've got many skills, so sometimes they'll just use a skill like there's camouflage and invisibility, all sorts of stuff that are non-destructive. They can use that randomly. The guard behavior is quite special. So let's go take a look at that. For the guard behavior, it's all about a focal point. If something has been set, he's going to try and move to it. And that's really all he's going to try and do when he's guarding. He's going to try and move to that point. Now, the AI move to focal point is what moves him there, and it uses simple movement input to do it in a specific direction at a specific speed. If he's hunting, because these guys are actually hunting you, they're trying to kill you, obviously, they will use their vision. So there's an AI vision function that basically draws a cone. Well, not draws, it uses a cone. This function here just draws a debug cone if you want to see the AI vision. But it will try and find you and see if you are, or any player is, within that cone of vision. And if you are, you're going to become the focal character, and you're going to become somewhat of a point of attention. Including, if he finds you, he's going to broadcast it to his mates. And they in turn are going to broadcast it to their mates, depending on a few factors, like if they're in broadcasting range. So once an enemy sees you, he's going to let all the other enemies know where you are, and they're going to come hunt you. They can obviously lose sight of you, and they'll swim around and try and find you from the last spot where they found you. If line of sight is broken, they'll start looking for you again. That's AI vision. And that was the guard behavior. They go into hunting mode when they found you. So in hunting mode, there's hunt behavior. And that's a little bit different. So while they have line of sight, which is another sweat sphere, but it's a lot smaller, capsule of 35. They're going to see if they can see you. If anything interrupts their vision that's not a projectile or you, they'll keep on seeing you and keep on chasing you. So they're not going to see you through rocks and things like that, and foliage, anything like that will break their vision. And if they're within strike distance, you're going to start taking damage, which is the whole point of AI, I guess. And then there's just some stuff to restore the state if they can't find you anymore. I forgot to mention the AI checks also does a pretty important thing regarding the, which is sort of related to the spawners. The spawners won't spawn stuff within, you need to be a certain distance from within the spawner before it will be spawn stuff. So you can have lots of these in the level, and they're not going to just spawn willy-nilly. You've got to be within a certain distance before they'll start doing their thing. And regarding the character, in the AI checks function, it does some optimizations. AI checks. It does some optimizations to determine whether or not it should be visible or cold. And if it's cold, then certain processes won't run, which are not required. Like the physics processes doesn't need to run if they're not even really close to you whatsoever, if they can't even see you. So you can set all that up to whatever cold distance you want. So that's for performance. So you can have a lot of these in the level, and it's pretty optimized. But the minute you start seeing them again, obviously, they'll move again. We're not doing sniper zoom and things like that here, so that works pretty well. The last one is the hover behavior. The hover behavior is a kind of special behavior where it literally just allows the character to hover in one place, and that's for interacting with AI. So there are cases where you're going to interact with AI that are not trying to kill you, obviously. Some quick points. The guard behavior, when it broadcasts prey, there's a lot of events used all over the place. So events are quite cool, so you can call events, and what that will do is call events in Blueprint. So then these events are not implemented in your C++ classes, they're implemented in your blueprints. So for example, I don't think focal character obtained event is implemented. But definitely hunting party started is because I didn't need it I didn't need it at the time. So when the AI has decided you're their focal character now, they're going to give you a chance to tell you that they're hunting you. So they're going to call you, whoever you are, which character you are. It's going to call your hunting party start event, which is also a blueprint event, so that's implemented here. So this will be handled within the blueprint, and then basically that there's some blueprint code running here that does a few checks, make sure that you're the player character, and if it is the first hunting party, it shows a little screen tint, so the screen turns yellow. The UI, we'll go through some of the UI stuff as well in the later things, later video. Another thing that I just want to mention regarding the spawners. When the spawner decides to spawn an actor, it's going to actually call a blueprint event, spawn actor of class. It's right here. Let me just spawn actor of class. And when you get to the blueprint, it's going to do a few checks now. Just ignore the quest stuff, but some of the spawners are, like the enemy AI spawners, are quest driven. So you can set up to only start spawning after a certain quest and objective is being given, so it'll only start spawning specific actors then. But the important part here is once an actor has been spawned, it actually lets the C++ class know that it has spawned that actor and passes a reference to it in this actor has spawned function, which is implemented here. So this actor has spawned simply gives the C++ class a chance to do something with that information. In this case, we're adding a reference to a TRA. I think that's it for now. Yeah, we'll do some more stuff soon. Thanks for watching. Cheers.